Welcome to Kayode's Kitchen with myself, Kayode Damali, and I'm absolutely honoured to present to you today my favourite meal, which is an Italian dish with a Caribbean twist. And if you're wondering exactly what gives it that Caribbean twist, you're going to find out throughout this video. But like every good cook, before I start cooking, I'm going to need to wash these hands. Now you're probably wondering, well Kayode, what is this favourite dish of yours? And why is it your favourite? Well, the dish that I'm going to make for you today is actually a spaghetti bolognese or a spag bowl. But like I said, we're a Caribbean twist. And why is it my favourite meal? Well, 3 reasons really. Firstly, it can be very simple to make, so it doesn't have to take too much time. And secondly, it's very, very nutritious. And thirdly, even though it's nutritious, because some things which are nutritious don't really taste good, but a spag bowl, especially if you do it the way I do, it's very, very nutritious and tasty. Especially if you add cheese and sprinkle it on at the end, but you're going to see it soon. But first thing what I'm going to do is teach you through each one of my ingredients. So if you want to come see it. So I've got the veg, which makes up the vegetable aspect of it. I like to use my chopped tomatoes as well as tomatoes with a tomato puree to give me the tomato sauce. I've got my seasonings, as you can see here. Spaghetti, of course you grab the spaghetti. I'm going to tell you about this later, just keep it in your mind. And I've got a little bit of parsley which I like to sprinkle on at the end. As you can see, I also got all my pots here nicely laid out. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to boil this kettle, so it might get a bit noisy, but hopefully you can still hear me. And the reason being is that our carrots, out of all of our veg, is going to take the longest to cook. It's the hardest. Now, I don't really mind my food al dente, but I know not everybody does. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to boil them to get them nice and soft. So when we do put it into the tomato sauce, it can, marinate nice with the courgette and the beans and the sweet corn and everything else. Okie dokie. So carrots. Yeah, kettle's boiling. So carrots, we're going to have about 3, possibly 2. We'll have 2 carrots. First thing we want to do, we're going to chop the ends off. That's what we need to do. I mean, unless you're a rabbit, I know rabbits probably like to eat the whole thing. Personally, I'm not a rabbit, so I'm going to cut the ends off and also going to peel them as well. So give them a quick wash. And then I'm going to get my chopping board and come over to my chopping station. So I like to cut it quite close to the end because I don't want to lose too much of the carrot itself. Like you don't want to be chopping off the end and chopping half of the carrot away, do you get what I mean? So chopping the ends, as you can see. I mean, sometimes I do like to chop these ends as well for symmetry. Like you can't just chop one end, you want to chop the other as well. And I'm gonna peel them. I don't know, am I lazy for using a potato peeler rather than a knife? Like, well, it's easy peeling them, just nice long strokes. Just getting the outside off. And I guess it's also good for cleanliness as well because we don't know where these carrots have been. So I guess stripping off the outer layer can be good for hygiene as well. Okay, now they look so smooth, it's crazy. Like I feel like, I don't know, it's just crazy smooth. So how are we going to chop them? So as we mentioned, carrots are a hard vegetable, and the bigger they are, the longer they take to get nice and soft. So the smaller we chop them means it'll be quicker to get them nice and soft. So I'm going to chop them fairly small. So can you see what I'm doing? So I'm going to be chopping in half first along the length, then making them flat. Then I'm going to chop in half again. And half again. So now we've got 4 pieces. And I'm going to chop, 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 chop. 4 chops. So give me this one. Chop, 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 chop. Now back to this one. So cut it long ways. And then long ways. And then long ways. And then chop, 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 chop. It's like a song. It's almost like a song the way. I feel like this is almost like a beat for us to like sing along to or something. Chop, chop, shot. Brilliant, fantastic. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it in my smallest pot. So just give it a little boil. And the one thing my mum always used to get onto me for is that whenever you're cooking, that's not what she told me, but she said that whenever you're cooking, always make sure you tidy along as you go along. So that's one thing that's been drilled into me, so that's what I'm also going to be doing. Okay, just going to put this in the trash. Great. So now just while the kettle's boiling, what we're going to do is now we're going to put some coconut oil into our frying pan to start getting... Okay, now this is real awkward if I can't open this. My excuse is my hands are a little bit wet from washing up, so I do go to the gym, it's not usually a problem. Oh my gosh, this is the issue when you buy a brand new coconut oil. But don't worry, I've got another one in my cupboard which is already open, so nobody laugh at me. Ready? See, simple. Great. So I'm going to get... I forgot I already put... You know, because I'm in my kitchen, it's just natural for me to go into my drawers to get something, even though I already put them all on the side. But, okay, so now some coconut oil. So you want about half a wooden spoonful. And the thing is why I use coconut oil rather than other oils such as, you've got other oils such as sunflower oil and rapeseed oil. I use coconut oil for everything. I mean, I even use coconut oil on my face, literally coconut oil. They even say if you got argument with your girlfriend or boyfriend, use coconut oil. That's how much you can use coconut oil for everything. So I like to use coconut oil when I'm frying rather than any other oil. So that's gonna get nice and hot for us while I start to prepare the rest. Fantastic. And if you see me bending down, I'm going to be putting things away. Obviously, I haven't got much. My kitchen's quite small, so don't get onto me. But I'm going to put my carrots and stuff. I'm going to put things away as I finish them. So if you see me bending down, I'm not hiding. I'm not going into a dungeon or anything like that. I'm just putting things in my fridge, which is an undercounter one. Okay, great. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to chop up our onion and garlic. Now for me, every single dish, I can't think of one dish I make whereby I don't fry onions and garlic not necessarily first, but I don't use onions and garlic. It literally goes with everything. It's like a universal... Maybe I should show you my party trick while I'm here, actually. Hopefully this goes well. I wasn't even planning to do this, but let's just... Hey, I'm really proud about that. You know, it's been a long time since I've done that as well. But where was I going? Yes, so onions, it goes literally everything. So I probably use about half an onion. Again, ends, and then skin. See, I think I'm kind of been immune over the years to, you know, when some people cut onions, they start crying and, you know, thinking about life. And but me, when I chop up my onions, it doesn't even make me cry. Have I just lost a heart, maybe? Am I immune? Am I just a heartless guy? I don't know. But onions, they don't make me cry. You don't have that effect on me anymore. So I'm going to chop this up. And I like to chop I think, with most things, I really just like to chop things up quite fine. Is that because I like the finer things in life? I don't know, but I do like to chop things up quite fine. So same with the onion, same with most things. Okay. I know you're on the camera, so it's hard for you to hear right now, but I love it when I'm hearing the onions sizzle, like just a gentle, that's how you know the oil's perfect. And I'm aware the kettle's finished boiling and the carrots are there, but I don't feel like we need to put the carrots to get soft just yet, because as I'm talking, it's taking a bit longer than usual, but if I put the carrots to boil straight away, they're going to get very, very soft, and that's what we don't want. We don't necessarily want al dente, and we don't necessarily want soft like cushions. We want it in the middle, so I'm going to leave that there for now. At least my kettle's nice and hot while I move on to my garlic. And in terms of my garlic cloves, I'm going to use 3 of these. And the way you get them out of the... I mean, some people do like to get a knife and get them out. I just prefer to crush them here. And same thing here, I like to crush the top and the end to kind of split them. And then it allows you to peel it off. And the same with these two. So you squish them, so you see it kind of splits, and it just allows you to peel it off. And I'm keeping an eye on my onions at the same time. Last one, squish it. And that made a nice little pop sound as well, actually. And just kind of peel it off. And then what you do find, you get these little end bits on the garlic, which I don't necessarily like to put in, so we're just going to give them a quick snip. And you see, what I used to do when I used to first start cooking, I used to actually grate my garlic, but now it's like, I just prefer to chop it, like just chop them really fine instead. Just give it a quick stir. Okay, so let's get a tissue again. Like, kitchen roll is so important when you're cooking, man. Like, you have to have it local, somewhere near. Again, chop them kind of fine. So I kind of do it one way, then you rotate it, and then you do it the other way. And that gets you nice and fine. I'm going to come close and see this last one I chop. Last one. Then rotate it horizontal. Brilliant. So now as you can see they're nice and fine. I'm going to put these into the frying pan with the onions. And it's now at this point, like I said, it's almost like a staple of every meal is onions and garlic. And how we season our onion and garlic, we use salt and we use black pepper. Now this is something I've started using within the last couple of years, is Himalayan salt. Now I used to use table salt and sea salt, but once you get Himalayan salt, the pink, rich, I don't know why it tastes so good. Is it the Himalayas? I've never been to the Himalayas, but the salt alone just makes me want to go. So I love to use my Himalayan salt. And this is a 51. And I'm not putting this away yet, because again, salt, we tend to add it in a lot of different aspects of the dish. The end's already off, great, fantastic. Black pepper, just a couple sprinkles as well. And then, like, again, you can already smell the aromas. It's crazy, even when I used to be at Union Halls, right, I remember, I live in a flat with 7 people. All I had done so far is fried my onions and garlic, and they're like, Kayode, oh my God, what is that smell? They're bursting into the kitchen. And then they're just looking around, just onions and garlic. This alone is already, like, Caribbean twist, I'm telling you. Right, okay, so that's getting there nicely. Now the next one I want to add in is my mushrooms. I get this nice big one actually. This is a nice massive one actually. It gives it a quick wash. I've got a joke about mushrooms. It's not, I like it. I like it anyway. I've been kind of made up as well, so I'll tell you. So why weren't the vegetables allowed to go to the party? Because there wasn't much room. Oh my days! I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize. Try go and sit down. Like I'm sorry. Alright, cool. That's quite a lot actually. It's quite a lot of mushrooms. But okay, it's done now. Cool. So we're gonna add that in there as well. Because the thing you need to understand with veg, right? Whenever you're adding veg, like a lot of veg you can have raw anyway, so you don't have to worry about. You don't have to worry about overcooking it. Do you know what I mean? Or you don't have to worry about undercooking it, because you can have them in its natural state anyway. But what you do want to worry about is overcooking it, because no one wants soggy veg. Okay, that's going to start cooking. Next, we're going to move on to our courgette. Again, give it a wash. And And in terms of my flame, I like to keep my flame on the lowest heat. Again, it's going back to I guess it's my cooking philosophy. I don't like to overcook things. I like to keep things on the lowest heat where possible. Just to let the flavors marinate, just to let things crack on. You know, they're having a good time in there. You don't want to rush them, you know. So courgette, what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut it in half, and half again, so it's a quarter, and then a bit of these in. Give it a quick stir. So now at this point, I'm going to add in the hot water for my carrots, because the carrots will be needing to go in soon, and I want to get them soft. But it doesn't take a lot to get the carrots soft, especially when you chop them up so small. Put the lid on, and I'm going to put on the flame. Okay, how you doing? You good? Hope you're doing good. Hope you're enjoying the show. And at this point, I'm going to tidy up a bit while that's on frying. I don't need garlic anymore, so I'm going to put that away. Don't need my onions anymore, so I'm going to put these away. Don't need my courgette anymore, so I'm going to put it in the fridge. You know, tidy up as you go along, and I'm going to put this into the bin. Okay. So obviously just keep an eye on the veg as you're tidying, as you go along. Like I said, once you've got things on a low heat, you know, it's not necessarily going to burn as such. Okay, put this out of the way. Cool, so next I'm going to add some sweet corn. Well, baby corn specifically. Add in 2 of these. Give them a quick wash. Give them a chop. Okay. Put them in with the rest of the party, even though there's not much room in there. You get that? Give that a stir. And then lastly, we're going to add in some green beans. Again, going to add in 2 of these. So I'm going to wash them again, top and bottom. Alright, so top, bottom, chop, chop. Hey, get out of the way. Chop, 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 chop. Right, it's like that was never ending. Chop, chop. Okay, cool. Right, so if you want to have a look, so these are vegetables nicely marinating. And so what we're going to do now, we're going to season the veg with some of the other seasonings. So far you already know that we put in some onions and we put in black pepper. So next we're going to put in mixed herbs. Now, the reason I like to buy mixed herbs is that I love oregano, I love thyme, I love basil, but this has got it all in it anyway. And I've got a joke about thyme actually saying that, I'm going to tell you in a second. So I love the fact it's got oregano and basil, it's got it all in there already, so you don't have to buy them individually. So put some of that. See, I was going to tell you that joke about a herb and a fish. But it turns out now's not the right time or the place. I'm here all day though, I'm here all day. Cool. So we put in some mixed herbs. Now I want to put in some all-purpose seasoning. Even if this isn't the right purpose, it's all-purpose, doesn't matter what purpose. I need to looking so good already, you know. But one thing, like, I do like my food to have colours of the rainbow. So one thing I'm not happy with so far is that it's very green. I mean, it's gonna turn red with the tomatoes, but I think it's very green at the minute. But we want to add in some red, because we've got yellow, we've got green, we've got, you know, we need to add in some red. So anyway, we put in the all-purpose, and we're now put in a bit of, I mean, some people pronounce it turmeric. I pronounce it personally turmeric. It's like Tuesday, you know, Tuesday. You don't say, I mean, Americans say Tuesday, but we say Tuesday, so turmeric. But anyway, it's giving us a bit of yellow. Okay. And at this point, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start adding the spaghetti. What is going on with me and opening things today? I feel like, you know, 1 second, just kind of just make this. Right, sorry, scissors have to come out. I don't know what is going on with my grip today. I don't know what it is, but right, okay. So in terms of the amount of spaghetti you want to use, and you've got different devices and tools where you can use to put it through to see how much you use, but I like to roughly make mine around the size of about a 10p for one. So roughly 10p for one. So if it's two, I like to do a 10p and a 5p. So this is roughly my 10p for one, and my 5p, about 5p for two. And now another thing, I was in Venice a few years ago, and of course this is an Italian dish, and spaghetti is something they have very often. And the person we were staying with, she taught us that when you're cooking your spaghetti, you don't necessarily want to break it in there. You just want to leave it in there whole and let it kind of sink in. I don't know if it's folklore, but they don't snap their spaghetti in, so it's a habit of mine to literally just do that now. It just sinks in, and it's very therapeutic to watch it doing that as well. It's a habit now. She's got me onto that habit from staying in Venice. And like I said, we do salt for a lot of aspects of this dish. And so we're going to be using it now to season what we put the boiled water. Okay, fantastic. Carrots are boiling there nicely. They get nice and soft independently. So now what we're going to do, we need to add in the tomatoes to make it the sauce. So I like to use chopped tomatoes rather than, and you can get plum tomatoes, but I don't want to have to chop up the plum tomatoes because they're really soft as well and they get everywhere. So I like to use my chopped tomatoes. So I'm just going to be over here with my... It's funny, when I used to live in house shares, people used to say, whoa, you got an electric can. Why have you, like, what is that? Like, what is that? I'm like, I thought it was enough where everyone had an electric can opener rather than the... So yeah, that's my electric. So it's going to get noisy. You might want to get earplugs. Okay. You put the whole of the can in. And again, this is another habit of mine. I don't like to leave the dregs. So what I do like to do with the boiled water, well, it's almost all gone now. I'll fill it up. I put a little bit of boiling water in there just to get the excess, so we're not wasting any. Okay. And like I said before about the colours of the rainbow, now we've got a red in there, so we're getting there. Okay. I'm going to add in some tomato puree to give it a bit of thickness and that extra tomato flavour. And this is so satisfying, you know, piercing these. It's like the toothpaste as well, and certain like medicine creams. I love getting the end of it and then... Ooh, I don't know, I just love the... It's just very therapeutic to open it. So add a squeeze of that in there. Put this back on. Gonna add a bit of paprika, so now our reds are getting in there. A bit of paprika. Give that a stir. So what we're doing is we haven't even put the mince in yet, but we're just cooking our tomato base. Like this, again, this alone is a dish. Do you know what I mean? This alone can be a dish with the spaghetti. And what I also want to use now is some medium curry powder. If you just bear with me. Here we go. So I'm going to add in a bit of medium curry powder, not too much, just a bit of a sprinkle. Okay, I'm going to put that back. You see the spaghetti sinking in now as well. I don't know why it's a thing in Italy. It might have not been a thing in Italy. Maybe it's just her family who did it like this, but I guess she's got me onto it now as well. And lastly, I do like to put in some fresh salad tomatoes, or could be cherry tomatoes in there as well. So I'm going to give this a quick wash. So I like to do it in half, and then you just do it lengthways, rotate, lengthways, rotate, lengthways. Cool, same thing with this one. Okay, now we're going to put that in. So you can see our nice tomatoes. Domio, you got nothing on this sauce. I'm telling you, if I put this in a jar and put this in supermarkets, Domio, I'm coming for you. Okay, and then we're gonna add a bit of ketchup to give it that extra tomato flavour. To be honest, even though we put in all the veg from scratch, so give it a shake. Even if we put in all the veg from scratch, you can, if you're time short, just use frozen veg or mixed veg in the pack which is frozen. Because even there, you've got the same ingredients. You've got your sweet corn in there, you've got your broccoli comes in, some of them in the medley, for example. So if you're time short and you haven't got time to get the veg, you can just put in mixed veg. I can't believe I'm giving you like my secret recipe, man. Honestly, like at uni, yeah, in my first year, someone said to me, like it's my housemate, told me, he said, oh my God, I need to bottle this and sell it. Now I'm literally showing you step by step how I do it. So if I see you running away and making my recipe, I'm coming for you because this is exclusive, never to be seen other than today. Okay, and now we're going to take off the carrots. Awesome. Okay, nice and soft. There you go. Go, be friends, be brave. There we go. Okay. Alright, fantastic. So we're going to leave that there for a bit, because now what I need to do is get on to this thing here. Now, people say like, wow, why have you got, where are these large bananas? What is this big banana? Now, you'll be forgiven for thinking it is a big banana because, I mean, I have got some bananas here. It does look like a large banana. But in the Caribbean, we call this plantain. This is called a plantain. So it's like a sweet cooking banana. Just like you have cooking apples, you can even argue that this is a cooking banana. Now in the Caribbean, this is getting a bit too hard to turn this off for a minute. In the Caribbean, we call this plantain, but in certain African countries, they call it plantain. So you might hear either plantain or plantain. Now I say plantain simply because it's spelled T-A-I-N at the end, just like mountain, fountain. You don't say, I'm gonna climb a mountain or a fountain. So I don't say plantain, I just say plantain, just like I say a mountain and fountain. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna put some oil on. I'm gonna move this to the back for a minute. Move this to the front, I'm gonna give this a quick rinse. Get my flames on, so I'm gonna put this one on. And we want to put this one on. Cool. Right, so again, what do we use? We don't use sunflower oil, we don't use rapeseed, we use coconut oil. And did I put it away? No, here we go. I'm gonna get this nice and hot. So this is one of our factors that gives it the Caribbean twist. So not only are we using Caribbean ingredients, Caribbean seasoning, we actually are using a Caribbean. Is plantain as a fruit or a veg? Well, we're using a Caribbean dish anyway. Okay. So I'm not going to use the whole thing, I'm only going to use half for now, so I'm going to put this half away later. So what we do, chop it in half, chop off the end, and we slice it to get the skin off, and you peel it. So you don't peel it like a normal banana, you kind of do it how I showed you, and then I like to squeeze this end bit out here. Now once you have taken it out, you can again have it in different ways. You can chop it this way to have small rings, some people like to cut it lengthways, but for me I'm going to cut them to have small circles. And when this oil starts heating up, we're going to add these in. Now I can hear my sauce trying to have an argument with me, trying to boil, but I'm now going to put in the mince. One thing I find out I've lived in several houses. I've had fire hobs, I've had electric hobs, and fire hobs just does it rapid. Like even when they're on the lowest, they're still aggressive with it, man. Like why? You know what I mean? You're on the lowest. Like what more do you want? But I'm gonna add the mince in. Because the mince is frozen, it's gonna cool it down to make it calm down essentially. So I'm just gonna go to my freezer. I'm now gonna add my mince. Okay. Oakley dokley. Give that a quick young stir. So now that's going to chill out. I'm going to push this pasta down. It's taken very long to descend, so I'm going to push it down. I'll put my forks out, so I'm going to use my knife. Oh. It just needs a bit, sometimes you got to give him a bit of encouragement. It's been shy, maybe it's camera shy, so you got to give it a bit of encouragement. Right, cool. We'll put the lid on, it's going to be there. Now we're going to fry the plantain. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to preheat my oven, because what we are going to have, I'm saying we like you're going to share it with me. I know you're probably wanting to share it with me, but we're going to preheat our oven because we're going to have some nice, tasty garlic bread to go with it as well. Okay, and now we're going to put our plantain on. Ooh, very aggressive. And that's what you want. You want it to start sizzling immediately. Maybe not that much. We're going to just take it off for a bit and let it calm down. Great, fantastic. Are you calmed down now? Ready to go back on? Okay, good. So I can go there like that, and we're just gonna keep an eye on this, give it a stir. I'm so hungry, I can't wait to tuck in this, I am starving. Okay. So now what I'm gonna prep my baking tray for the garlic bread. And a big habit of mine is that I never like to put food directly onto the tray itself. I always like to line them with foil first, rather than put them directly onto the tray itself. Because it makes it easier for you when you're cleaning it, and yeah, it's just so much easier, man, than having all the oil and stuff onto the tray. Because when this gets dirty, what do? You just kind of throw it away. It's funny for you, see. So. Put this in the bin. Keep an eye on everything, give it a stir. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna grab the garlic bread from the freezer. Now I'm going to put in 3 slices. 1, 2, 3. Now these don't take long to do, so I'm not going to put them in just yet. I'm going to wait for the oven to preheat first. So I'm going to move this out of the way, and it's going to give me a great time to now tidy up a little bit and put things away. So this can go in here. This can go in the fridge. Just putting some things into the fridge. Seasoning can go away. What is this? Anybody out of shot? Go away. Might go in the fridge. Just giving it a quick tidy. And this stuff here is still to be used. Okay, so let's give this a quick stir. You can see it's cutting on nicely. And there's one last ingredient we're actually going to add into this to give it an extra Caribbean twist. And what these are Scotch chili bonnets, or Scotch bonnets. So they're like bell peppers, but tiny, but ferocious. So they're small in size, but big in spice. Now I like to put these in last because I don't want them in for too, because they are like, they're packing, even holding them like this, and then you gotta be careful you touch your face afterwards, they can be absolutely fire. So I'm gonna add a little bit of this in now. Literally just a little bit, like if you see how much I'm putting in. Because even though I'm from the Caribbean, right, I don't like too much spice, like it's crazy, I don't really like that much spice. So I'm literally only gonna put in this, and this will be enough for me, I'm telling you, literally this will be enough. Okay, be gone. Okay, and by this point we're going to start flipping over our plantain as well. Flip, 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 perfect, flip. Again, smaller, the more thin, the quicker they do cook throughout, so that's perfect. And what I'm also going to do, I'm going to prep my plate for what I'm going to put them on. Because what we do want to do is you want to get the oil off of them. Just like when you're doing chips, you know when you flip the chips out and let the oil come out of the chips, same thing with the plantain as well. Or plantain, depending on what part of the world you're from. And this is my little touch I like to do. I like to sprinkle paprika on them. I don't know why, I just like to give it a little bit of a paprika kind of flavour when I flip them. It's very thick on that side. Cool. I give that a little stir. I'll put this in now. Awesome. Let's have a look at our oven. Nice and hot, almost getting there. Got the tissue prep for the plantain. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to chop up a little bit of parsley. This is what we're going to sprinkle on top of when it's ready to be served. So I'm going to take a little bit. I always feel bad when ripping the leaves off. It's like going to the park and seeing a flower and just picking the leaves off. But I feel bad, but he knows why it's here. He knows his job. Give him a little wash. And you want to chop these up quite fine. So some people like to finish them with basil, finish it with different kind of leaves, but I like to use parsley. Cool, brilliant. So this is what we're going to call like sprinkling at the end. Got my trusty rag here to dry my hands. Item soon to be done. Spaghetti, how you getting on in there, mate? You doing good? Great. And then we're gonna check the planting now. See, we're getting there, we're almost at the end, Planting them are done. I'm gonna put these garlic bread in now. It doesn't take that long. Yeah, this is my kind of breather time, right? Cool, oops, sorry. And now what I'm gonna also do, we're gonna put some cheese on it as well. So I'm gonna start grating the cheese to be ready. So that's cheese going on, parsley going on. So I'm gonna grate the cheese while these guys are doing their thing. Got my cheese grater. Got cheese. Cut a chunk off. Put it back. Now in terms of grating, for the longest time in my life, I used to love grating it on this big side, but then one day, it's like it came from the heavens. All I did was rotate it to this side, and then the game changed. It changed the game. I'm telling you, once you grate your cheese fine, you'll never rewind. And I just pulled that now. Grate your cheese fine, you will never rewind. Don't do the big side, do the thin side. I'm gonna go check the planting. Yay, so these can come off now. To drain. Cool. Right, so I'm gonna turn this flame off. I'm gonna move this away. And what we do, we get another 2 layers of kitchen roll to just dab the top. Unless you've got really thick kitchen roll, maybe you can just use one. We're just gonna dab the oil from the top side as well. And this will get ready to serve shortly. I'm gonna grate the cheese. I said thin side, where we at? There we go. See, it's coming out lovely. Okay, we're getting there. Well, if you don't want to spend time grating, you can always buy grated cheese, I guess, if that's what you want to do. But sometimes it's nice to just grate it yourself. It is cheaper per 100 grams, though, actually, when you do buy it as a block rather than grated. FYI, just saying. If you're trying to watch the pennies. Cool, I'm gonna put the cheese away now. See, look at that. Look at that. Nice and fine. So that's our parsley ready to be sprinkled. That's our cheese ready to be sprinkled. And this is our plantain ready to also be served. One of these there. How you getting on back here, Pastor mate? You good? Just get a fork and just check on you. Yeah, you're good. Yeah, you're good. Are you getting on garlic bread? You guys good? Right, you guys get really quick, man. Alright, they're good as well. So what I want to see is I'm start dishing up. Okay. Use away. Just doing a bit of tidying as well. Make some space. Right, it's hot in here, boy. I don't know if it's the lights or what, but it's getting hot in here. I don't know if it's the flavors, but it's getting there. Cool. Now, because it's an Italian dish, Italians tend to even like their spaghetti kind of quite harder than we would tend to have it in the UK. But for me, even though it's an Italian dish, I do like mine a bit softer than the Italians, but harder than how we'd have it in Britain. So I'm somewhere in the middle between Italy and the UK. Maybe I'm in France. I guess that's kind of halfway between Italy and the UK, right? Cool. Now what I'm going to drain the water from the spaghetti. Okay. Fantastic. Put a little bit in here. And a little bit on here. Turn this off. We're going to now put the spaghetti on. Oh, sorry, not spaghetti. We're going to put on mince on. I'm going to grab another spoon. Garlic bread's done. Take this out. Here, a bit on here. And it depends how people also like their ratio. Like for me, when it comes to like curries or even pasta and sauces, I like to have 2/3 of the carb and 1/3 of the sauce. So spaghetti, I like 2/3 spaghetti, one third sauce. Like some people like more sauce than spaghetti and like mix it all up, make it a mess. That's kind of how I like my ratios. 2 and a 1. Same with curry, I like 2/3 rice, 1/3 of it the curry. Okay, let's get some plantain on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice little round face, little smiley face. It's almost like a smiley face and the hair, right? Okay, now also gonna put a bit of garlic bread on this way. 1. I'm gonna put some cheese on. Or can you like, you know the guys, you know Salt Bay when he goes like, you know, I don't know if you've seen the guy, Salt Bay, he goes like that, but we're not really like that. Put a bit of cheese on. Put a bit of cheese on. And then lastly, what we're gonna do, we're gonna finish it off with a little bit of parsley on. The rest. Okay. And there we have it. Our spaghetti bolognese, an Italian dish with a Caribbean twist. With our spaghetti bolognese, our garlic bread, and our plantain. Now, I don't know what you're going to be doing this evening, but I know what I'm going to be doing this evening. I'm about to tuck in to this dinner. So I want to thank you for taking your time for watching my video. My name's Kayode. It's been a pleasure cooking for you, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Take care.